While shonen anime has always been predominantly loved by the anime community, romance has its own fan base. And believe me or not, slice of life is an acquired taste. But recently there has been this one genre that has rose up the ranks to match up with this industry behemoths, and that is Isekai. Isekai has quickly become one of the most controversial genre in the anime community. Either it's extremely loved by its fans or disgustingly hated by its haters. Love it or hate it, you can't deny the popularity and reach that Isekai has gotten in the past few years. With so many titles coming out each season, the genre has burned itself down because the number of bad Isekai coming out every season heavily outweighs the number of good Isekai. While some may argue that Isekai wasn't a good genre to begin with, in the past few years, which have been some of the most amazing years for the anime community, there hasn't been a single season without an Isekai anime. There is at least a single Isekai anime every season, and to ignore the fact that there is a market for Isekai anime is complete bullcrap. The Isekai of summer 2020 was Otome Game no Hametsu Flag, which revolves around our main protagonist Katarina Claes, who soon after getting reincarnated into another world realizes that this is the exact Otome game she was playing before she died in the real world. For all you non-weebs out there, Otome Game generally refers to a visual novel game, mostly targeted towards a female demographic, and the main goal of the game is to develop a romantic relationship between the male and female lead. So before you cut this anime out as another romantic isekai, wait a second and let me actually get into the actual plot of the anime. Our main protagonist quickly realizes that she wasn't reincarnated as the actual protagonist of the game, but as the villain of the story. And no matter what route she goes, there is a dead end sign at the end of each route, for her at least, and thus begins her journey to avoid all the dead ends of the game. At first, it didn't sound something that I would enjoy because a reverse harem anime with a bunch of dicks is not something that I usually like or enjoy because it just falls out of my taste range, and so I regarded it as another isekai anime coming out, and I never actually planned on watching it until a certain someone told me, hey, you should try it because it's good. And I was like, okay, almost most of the anime are cancelled due to the pandemic crisis. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. There were 3 episodes out by the time I watched it, and I still remember I binged all 3 of those in one go, in one sitting, and I laughed and smiled and had a fun time watching them, aka I enjoyed it. And after that, it became one of the few series this season that I genuinely kept up with every week. On the surface, it seems like another isekai anime, but once you start watching it, it quickly becomes an awesome watch because you soon get invested into the characters and character interactions that happen. If you ask me what was the part that I enjoyed the most throughout the series, then it would be the character interactions. Because watching different characters interact with Katarina Claes, who is dense as a fucking black hole, is genuinely funny and enjoyable. And before you know it, each episode becomes a treat. You become curious of what will happen next, and how her actions will change the course of her life as well as those around her. While the show slows down around 6th or 7th episode, the plot never actually becomes static. It's more of a speed breaker than anything else. The defining feature of this anime are its characters, because that's the only thing that you vividly remember after the series has ended. I personally totally forgot that it was a fantasy world with magic involved, because the concept of magic is not brought up very often, and even when it's brought up, it's not an extremely important part of the story or the series. The thing that pushed me to make an entire video about this anime was, no matter how I look at it, there was nothing special or out of ordinary about this series. but still, it was one of the best anime coming out this season, at least in my opinion. And if it wasn't for the amazing sequels that came out this season, I would have gladly named it the best anime of summer 2020. With the insane amount of cancellations and postponed anime, we had a serious lack of choice this season. But even if there were no cancellations, I would still guess that Otome Game the Hametsu Flag would have still made its way to my heart, because something about watching god tier harem protagonist who not only seduce the main characters of the show but also every other female character is oddly satisfying and entertaining. I am genuinely excited to see what the second season of Otome Game will bring on the table. It has been announced for 2021, and no, the month and the season for the second season has not been announced yet. But hey, no matter what happens, I'm pretty sure that the second season will be as entertaining and funny as the first one. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, then consider subscribing. And comment below what was your favorite anime of this season. And yeah, no sequels allowed. Guess that's it. And Anime Rookie signing out.